welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, you're about to be pulled into, well, the really turbulent waters of Ming Dynasty China.
Yeah, it's a period full of shifting political currents, devastating natural disasters, and this constant threat from external enemies.
And we're focusing on this pivotal moment when a single imperial policy, this audacious changing rice to mulberry initiative,
Yeah.
it just completely unravels a huge web of corruption.
Hidden agendas, profound personal sacrifice. It's all there.
It really is. It's like a lens into these interconnected struggles, right? Between these super uncompromising officials, cunning merchants, desperate commoners.
And all under the shadow of this powerful but, really unpredictable emperor.
So our mission today, we're going to try and untangle the complex motivations of figures like the unyielding Hai Rui.
Right, him. And the enigmatic Shen Yushi, the calculating Yan family, Prince Yu's faction.
We'll uncover some surprising facts, hopefully some profound insights into, well, power, justice, survival in a time of crisis.
Because the central question, really, is what happens when the very acts meant to save a dynasty also expose its deepest, most dangerous flaws?
Exactly. So let's begin this deep dive. And right away, you'll meet someone who basically defined integrity in this age of corruption.
Yeah, absolutely. We start with Hai Rui. His name still resonates today, this almost mythical reputation for integrity. He arrives as the new county magistrate of Chunan.
And his reputation precedes him.
Totally. Uncompromising. And he wastes absolutely no time living up to it.
Okay, so that's a pretty bold way to make an entrance. How does his very first act immediately reset the standard?
He goes straight for the gut of the system, the jail food. It's notoriously bad, described as moldy rice mixed with chaff and sand, right? But it's not just for the prisoners anymore. Hai Rui demands the escorts themselves taste every single bowl.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And his threat, it was chilling. He basically said, tell everyone not to think of poisoning prisoners. If one prisoner is poisoned, the cook and the escorts will eat the food themselves.
Oh, that's direct.
It's more than direct. It's this visceral message that accountability starts right now, right here, and corruption. It's going to be confronted head on, no matter how ingrained it is. It's like shocking transparency as a weapon.
You can almost feel the panic in that jailhouse, can't you? That one act just completely redefines leadership there.
And he keeps the pressure on, relentlessly. Especially with the county deputy magistrate, Tian Yulu.
Right, demanding more disaster relief grain.
Exactly. But he doesn't just ask. He connects it to past failures, like the new on-river levee breach. He asks Tian Yulu straight up, how did that levee breach? He makes it personal.
And that really brings out Hai Rui's whole self-sacrificing thing, doesn't it? That quote.
Oh, yeah. I have no sons, and I don't plan to leave Chunin alive.
I mean, talk about commitment.
It's not just talk, though. It's this profound insight into his dedication.
Yeah.
He literally removes his own personal stakes from the equation to pursue pure, uncompromised justice.
But what's fascinating is how he then gets loyalty. It's not just fear, is it?
No, not entirely. He knows these incredibly intimate details about his subordinates. Like, he knows Tian Yulu's father lives in a hut, or that the jailhead has a concubine but neglects his own mother.
How does he even know that stuff?
Right. He's described as being clear as a mirror. He uses this almost like all-knowing insight not to condemn, but to forge this unbreakable bond.
So it's a mix of being super strict, but also having this weirdly personal connection.
Exactly. He forces them to confront their own moral failings by showing he sees everything. It's a really unusual approach.
Okay, so Hai Rui is shaking things up locally. Then this massive imperial policy, changing rice to mulberry, lands on the scene.
Yeah, and this is where things get really complicated.
How did this policy, which was all about boosting silk production for trade, how did it clash with what Hai Rui was doing? And what tensions did it immediately expose?
Well, this policy was a huge flashpoint. It basically forced farmers to switch from growing rice they needed to survive, to growing mulberry for silkworms, a cash crop for export.
So national revenue versus local survival.
Precisely. It was a massive gamble with people's livelihoods and food security. And then, right on cue, these grain ships arrive at Chunan.
The ones with the weaving bureau lanterns?
Yeah, trial lanterns, very conspicuous. And Tian Yulu, the deputy, he's ecstatic. He thinks it's imperial disaster relief.
Sees it as a way to get off the hook.
Exactly. He thinks it'll offload responsibility from the local officials. Easy solution.
But Hai Rui, being Hai Rui, smells a rat.
Instantly, his strategic insight kicks in. He suspects these ships might be an opportunity, but a really risky one.
What does he think they're really up to, and why is it so dangerous?
He suspects their real purpose is to buy civilian land.
By
Yeah.
land. Why is that such a big deal?
Because it's a direct violation of ancestral law. There's this cardinal rule. Imperial estates cannot encroach on civilian land. Mesa State.
Okay, so a fundamental rule designed to protect people.
Right. And Hairui's mind just races. His calculation is incredibly bold. If they are buying land illegally, he could use this violation of ancestral law to seize the grain,
Which would give him disaster relief.
allow rice planting to continue, and basically torpedo the entire changing rice to mulberry policy in his county.
Wow, that's audacious, but hugely risky for him personally.
Immense personal risk, but potentially a lifeline for his people.
And just as this tension is ratcheting up, another key player arrives. Shen Yishi.
Ah, Shen Yishi, the merchant.
But not just any merchant, right? Tell us about his status, this honorary 6th-rank official title. What does that signal?
Yeah, he's definitely not your average merchant. He commands these ships, and that title, bestowed by Imperial grace, is immediately obvious. It tells you he has unusual power.
Connections.
Deep connections within the Imperial court. It shows he's operating as a merchant, yes, but with direct Imperial backing and influence. It blurs the lines between commerce and official power.
Which is a really critical insight into how things actually worked back then.
Absolutely. Economic power wielded with Imperial favor.
Okay, the plot thickens. But even before Hairui can make his move, there's a sinister plot against him brewing.
Yeah, the forces aligned against him aren't wasting any time either.
Tell us about this plot. It really shows the opposition Hairui and, by extension, Prince Yu are facing.
Well, you've got Jiang Qianhu and Zhu Xianhu, two military commanders. They're aligned with the powerful Yan family faction.
The rivals of Prince Yu's faction.
Exactly. And they plan to murder the Woku prisoners currently in Hairui's jail.
Why? What's the goal?
Their goal is to solidify the crime on Hairui. Since Hairui was recommended by Prince Yu's group, this would discredit them and ensure the rice to mulberry policy moves forward without Hairui interfering.
And they rope in others.
Oh, yeah. They coerce Tian Yulu and the jailhead into helping them. It shows just how deep the corruption runs.
But Hairui's intuition is like a superpower here.
It really is. He senses something's off with Tian Yulu and the jailhead. He immediately spots these judicial commission's soldiers in his jail, recognizes they're outsiders.
And he acts.
Fiercely, asserts his authority, demands only his county staff remain inside. He's running on pure instinct and a deep understanding of who he can trust, which isn't many people.
Meanwhile, far away, another piece of the puzzle is moving. Gao Hanwen, a provincial official.
Right, he's on his way to Chunan, but his escort's men loyal to the corrupt officials Zhang Bichang and He Mokai are deliberately delaying him.
Why? To control when he arrives.
Classic tactic. Make sure he arrives at a less opportune time, control the narrative, maybe suppress inconvenient truths, standard playbook stuff.
But then an intervention. Tan Lin arrives.
Yes, Tan Lin, a very shrewd military advisor sent by the Governor General himself, who's Zongxian.
And he just takes over.
Pretty much. Intercepts Gao Hanwen, dismisses the corrupt escorts, takes charge. It's a clear signal that a higher level of authority is now involved. Maybe not everyone is compromised.
So all these different threads finally converge down at the docks.
It's quite the scene. Hairui confronts Shen Yishi right there at the grain ships, and he's got Gao Hanwen and Tan Lin's soldiers with him now.
He doesn't waste time, does he?
Nope. Immediately asserts control, reassigns the military guards watching the ships. It's a direct challenge to Shen Yishi's authority.
And Shen Yishi, how does he react?
He's remarkably defiant. Hairui challenges him about wearing silk, which isn't appropriate for a merchant.
And Shen Yishi's response is memorable.
Audacious is the word. He has courtesans present his honorary 6th-rank official regalia on trays, just flaunting his imperial favor openly.
Wow. Talk about putting on a show.
And then he issues this ultimatum to Hairui: either wear the official robe yourself and face impeachment for overstepping, or wear common clothes and get arrested for impersonating an official while inspecting my ships.
That's brilliant psychological warfare.
Totally. And just when Hairui seems to have the upper hand, Shen Yishi plays his trump card.
Which is?
He reveals the true banners hidden under the weaving bureau lanterns. They read, "By Imperial decree for disaster relief."
What was? So disaster relief all along.
That's how it looks now. It completely flips the script. Public perception shifts instantly from illegal land purchase to imperial charity.
Leaving Hairui completely
Momentarily stunned, yeah. He realizes the situation is way more complex than he thought. It's not just a deeper game. The rules themselves are being manipulated. Even imperial decrees can be used for deception.
Speaking of intricate games, let's jump to the Imperial Palace in Beijing. Emperor Jing is furious about these reports of the Weaving Bureau buying land.
Oh, yes. The fallout for the powerful Yan family is immediate and terrifying.
What happened?
Grand Secretary Yan Song and his son Yan Shifan, the heads of the Yan faction, are interrogated, and Yan Song's fear is just palpable.
Warns his son.
A chilling warning. He basically says, only the Emperor can summon wind and rain. Only I can block wind and rain for the Emperor, not you. You and your people are inviting wind and rain. There is no one who can block the wind and rain you invite.
And then the part about exterminating generations.
The 21 histories only talk about exterminating 9 generations, but our great Ming can exterminate 10 generations. It's just stark terror. It shows you the absolute arbitrary power of the emperor. Even the highest officials are disposable.
Utterly terrifying. But Yan Shifan, despite his usual recklessness, actually figures something out here.
He does. He shows surprising shrewdness. He deduces that their own subordinates, Zhang Bichang and He Maokai, have betrayed them.
How so?
He figures they conspired with local gentry, used the Weaving Bureau name for their own profit, and cleverly tried to shift the blame onto the imperial household itself, hoping to deflect the emperor's anger away from them.
So damage control time for Yan Song. What's his move?
A strategic retreat. He issues an imperial directive, at Xi, to Governor General Hu Zongxian.
Ordering an investigation.
Exactly. Ordering Hu to investigate the Weaving Bureau buying land issue. It's a masterstroke, really.
How so?
It makes them look like they're addressing corruption and ensuring fair land prices. But it also reinforces their narrative. Rebellions always come from farmers, never merchants. It deflects blame downwards, away from the core corruption at the top. Very clever.
Meanwhile, across town in Prince Yi's household, there's a different kind of tension. The prince, the heir, is getting impatient.
Yeah, and he's getting constant, subtle advice from his consort. Consort lie? But his frustration boils over.
He has an outburst against her.
A pretty shocking one. It really humanizes him, though. Shows his insecurities. He even threatens to transfer their son to another concubine.
Wow, so even the royals have their moments.
Absolutely. It reminds you they're real people under immense pressure. Political power doesn't just erase human flaws.
And this outburst kind of highlights the strategy of his advisors, Shu Qidai, Gao Gong, Zhang Zhujing. They're counseling caution.
Right, a wait-and-see approach. They're preparing impeachment documents against the Yans, but they're holding off. Because the political landscape is too volatile, too many variables, it shows a key rule of high-stakes politics. Timing is everything. Move too soon, even if you're right, and it can blow up in your face.
Okay, let's shift back to the ground level, where loyalty and betrayal are getting incredibly tangled. Yang Jinshui, the powerful eunuch heading the Weaving Bureau.
Yes. Initially, he's actually plotting with the Jinyue, the embroidered uniform guard.
The emperor's secret police, basically.
Right. Specifically, commanders from their elite North Military Command, the Shun, who have direct imperial authority, and their plan, arrest Shen Yishi.
For what?
For shaming the emperor by supposedly buying land illegally.
But then...
Then the rug gets pulled out from under him. Jing Bichang, one of his own guys, rushes in, frantic. He reports that Shen Yishi didn't buy land. He lent the grain for disaster relief.
Oh. So Yang Jinshui suddenly looks like he fed the emperor bad intel.
Exactly. He realizes he's in deep trouble, potentially facing imperial wrath himself, and he immediately suspects that Zheng Bichang manipulated him, set him up.
And the Jinyue. How do they handle Zheng Bichang?
With chilling efficiency. They interrogate him and deliver this truly menacing warning. Doing official work requires shrewdness, but not too much shrewdness. If you are too shrewd, heaven will come for you.
What does that even mean?
It means don't get too clever for your own good, especially if it steps on the emperor's toes, even indirectly. It's not about law. It's about perceived threats to power. The Jinyue enforce that invisible line.
And this leads to a really fascinating moment about loyalty between Yang Jinshui and Shen Yishi.
Yes. In a private interrogation, Shen Yishi reveals his incredible strategy.
What was his plan?
He intentionally used the land purchase cover story. He deliberately kept Yang Jinshui in the dark about the real plan, the disaster relief.
Why would he do that?
So that when the truth eventually came out, Yang Jinshui would appear genuinely innocent and ignorant of any initial wrongdoing. It protects Yang Jinshui from the emperor's anger.
That's incredibly self-sacrificing
Eh.
and complex.
It's profound loyalty through deception. It shows how survival in that court worked. Protecting your boss might mean letting them look clueless about your brilliant, dangerous maneuvers.
That's quite something. And Yang Jinshui recognizes this.
Deeply. He's so moved by Shen Yushi's loyalty that he adopts him as his son-in-law.
Wait, son-in-law? Even though Shen's actual love interest, Yun Yang, is into Gao Hanwen.
Yeah, it's more about cementing this incredibly strong personal and political bond forged in crisis.
So Yang Jinshui vows to help Shen.
Promises to clear his name with the Grand Eunuch and the Emperor. But he also makes a chilling vow of his own. If this whole rice to mulberry policy fails, he'll get revenge on everyone involved. Zhang, he, Gao, Hai Rui, Wang Yangji.
So the stakes just keep getting higher for everyone.
Absolutely interconnected now. Everyone's fate is tied together.
While all this high-level drama is happening, the Jin Yiwei are still undercover in Chunan. What are they finding out?
They discover this crucial public misunderstanding. The local peasants, they believe Hai Rui was sent by the crown prince.
Not the emperor.
No. And they think the Weaving Bureau's relief efforts, Shen Yishi's grain, are actually secret imperial orders designed to help Hai Rui.
That explains why they're hesitant to borrow the grain even though they're starving.
Exactly. They're terrified that if Hai Rui leaves, they'll be forced back into planting mulberry, won't be able to repay the grain loan, and will lose their land anyway. It shows this deep, profound distrust of the entire system. They see temporary fixes but fear the underlying instability.
Then things come to a head in the county hall. Hai Rui versus He Mao Kai, the provincial judicial commissioner.
Yeah, He Mao Kai shows up demanding the Woku prisoners. He's furious. He even throws down the sign stick cylinder, basically demanding punishment for Hai Rui.
But Hai Rui doesn't back down.
Not an inch. As a sitting official, he fiercely asserts his judicial independence. He uses actual Ming law to counter He Mao Kai's demands.
And he calls in backup.
Dramatically calls in the Governor General's personal guard to enforce his authority. It completely unnerves He Mao Kai. It's a powerful stand for justice being independent of political pressure.
And then Hai Rui says something about the personal cost.
Yeah, this incredible confession to He Mao Kai. I wish for nothing. A man lives 100 years only to die, and to leave this head in Shannon is my goal.
Meaning he's ready to die right there for his principles.
Exactly. It's chillingly selfless, this total lack of personal ambition, this willingness to sacrifice everything. It's deeply unsettling for someone like He Mao Kai, who operates by different rules entirely. It's Hai Rui's ultimate weapon integrity that just can't be bought or threatened.
So Hai Rui forces a compromise on the prisoners.
A strategic one. The real Woku leader in Nui Jushiru gets handed over. But the commoners, like Hidazu, who just unknowingly bought food from him, declared innocent of collusion.
But they still get punished.
A symbolic 20 floggings. Just enough to satisfy procedure, perhaps. He Mao Kai, completely cornered, has to sign the verdict.
And this flogging happens publicly.
Yes, down at the docks. Kidazu and the others. The hidden Jinyu Wei observers are there, even noting Kidazu's impressive physique, tiger arm, bee waist. That detail might be important later. But Hai Rui isn't finished. He addresses the villagers directly.
What does he say?
He confronts them for their inaction, their fear. But then he explains the potential benefits of mulberry farming tax exemption, higher yield, those imperial interest-free loans Shen Yishi technically brought.
And then the ultimatum.
A stark one. Anyone willing to plant mulberry, I will lend grain to. Anyone unwilling, I will not lend a single grain. It's tough love, almost, showing that effective leadership isn't always gentle. Sometimes it takes pushing people for their own good.
And it works.
Amazingly, yes. Kidazu, fresh off his flogging, but empowered by Hai Rui's fairness, rallies the crowd. He gives this powerful speech, even threatening anyone who defies Hai Rui now.
And the crowd.
They're finally convinced. They agree to borrow the grain and plant the mulberry. It's a huge moment. Hai Rui's unwavering commitment finally breaks through the distrust.
Okay, after that intensity at the docks, we get a quieter moment. Tan Lun visits Hai Rui.
Yeah, he arrives secretly at Hai Rui's residence, and he performs the symbolic act, washing Hai Rui's feet.
Showing respect, deep connection.
Exactly. It's quiet, intimate, speaks volumes about their bond, the burdens they share.
But then Tan Lun drops some shocking news.
Huge news. He's brought Hai Rui's family, his mother, sister-in-law, and niece to Chunan.
What? Why? That seems incredibly dangerous.
It is dangerous, but it's a profound strategic move. It's designed to reassure those wary villagers that Hyrule is staying. He's not just some temporary official who will leave them high and dry.
So bringing his family is proof of his long-term commitment.
Exactly. It cements their trust in him, and by extension, in the changing rice to mulberry policy he's now championing. It's a massive personal sacrifice, putting his family right in the middle of this, but it's a powerful signal.
Another significant arrival of the famous physician Li Shuzhen.
Yes, the author of the Benkao Gangmu, known for opposing the emperor's alchemy obsession. Governor General Hu Zongxian specifically invited him to fight the plague spreading in Chunan.
And Hyrule defers to him.
Humbly. Li Shizhen immediately critiques Hyrule's more basic medical attempts and demands a proper scientific approach. It's a nice little intersection of real-world expertise and political drama. But the mood shifts again. Tan Lin has a grim warning for Hyrule.
What is it?
An impending large-scale Woku pirate invasion is headed for Taozu, and he reveals Hu Zongxian's bleak assessment of the court's likely reaction.
Which is?
The Imperial court, desperate for cash, will probably seize Shen Yishi's vast wealth. They'll trump up a charge, merchants disrupting governance, AOU, even though Shen's actions actually help the emperor and the relief effort.
So loyalty gets punished if it becomes politically inconvenient or if there's money to be grabbed.
That's the cynical reality Hyrule is furious about. He laments this systemic corruption where good deeds can be twisted and punished arbitrarily.
What's Tan Lun's advice?
Pragmatic, as always. He tells Hyrule to plan for the country and also plan for himself. Basically, urging him to step back from deeper court intrigues now that he's succeeded in Chunan. His promotion is likely assured. Don't push his luck further.
It's like saying, know when to quit while you're ahead in a corrupt system.
Pretty much. Sometimes the smartest move is knowing your limits and when to pull back.
And this whole arc ends on a dramatic note. The fall of Taozu.
Yeah, the Woku invasion begins brutally. The invaders are ruthless. We then see Hu Zongxian and the famous General Qizhiguang on the cannon platform in Taizu, preparing for a major battle.
And Hu Zongxian makes a critical decision.
A courageous and calculated one. He decides to stay in Taizu, deliberately disobeying imperial orders to return to Hangzhou.
Why defy the emperor?
It's a high-stakes gamble. By staying and forcing the confrontation, he aims to compel the court to fully fund the war effort, to finally prioritize national defense over all the internal political backstabbing. He's forcing their hand.
Wow, true leadership in crisis.
Definitely. And we end this segment with Tan Lin's farewell to Hyrule, this incredibly poignant quote.
The what about the moon?
Yeah. Where is there no moon? What moon doesn't shine on people? Only no one is like us two.
What a line. Sums up their shared, lonely path of integrity.
It really does. It speaks volumes about the isolation that comes with trying to do the right thing in a world built on compromise and corruption. They walk a path few others even dare to tread.
This deep dive, it's really pulled back the curtain on this critical, complex period in the Ming Dynasty. We've seen individual integrity clashing with these huge, cunning schemes.
Yeah, how a policy meant for economic gain just became this massive battleground for political power, exposing corruption, forcing incredible sacrifices.
From Hyrule's, absolutely unwavering stance.
To Shen Yishi's incredibly calculated loyalty, that whole dance he did.
And that high-stakes chess game back in the imperial court. It just reminds you, history isn't just dates and events. It's human drama. Complex motivations, surprising choices.
Absolutely, full of flawed people making impossible decisions.
So as you think back on all this, here's something to consider. In a world where, even good intentions get twisted into political weapons, and where integrity can lead to both triumph and tragedy, what actually defines effective leadership?
Right. And when you're facing overwhelming systemic corruption, how much can just one person truly change? And what's the ultimate cost? What part of this whole tangled story stands out most to you?